I've been accused of seeing the entire world through the prism of the welfare reform debate, and I see a lot of similarities between the immigration debate and the welfare debate. There's a tendency on the part of pro-amnesty people to make the same sort of intellectual sloppiness that pro-welfare people did. For example, if you looked at the welfare debates of the 60s and the 70s, people will say, well, greater welfare benefits doesn't encourage people to go on welfare. I mean, it doesn't encourage people to migrate from state to state. There is no continuing permanent group of people who stay on welfare for a long time. But that's insane. Of course, higher welfare benefits encourage some people to go on welfare, and then gradually, the academic research caught up with common sense, and it turned out if you go to Milwaukee, there's a whole lot of people who cross state lines for higher welfare benefits. There are studies that show that higher welfare benefits encourage more people to go on welfare, and it came out that they were, if you corrected for coding errors, there were a whole lot of people who were on welfare for a long time. So they're sort of denying the obvious reality. Similarly, in the immigration debate, people say, well, if we give amnesty to the people who are now, that's not going to encourage more people to come, right? Of course it's going to encourage more people to come. I mean, the people, for political reasons, ignore sort of obvious difficulties. In both welfare and immigration, you're dealing with a conundrum. In welfare, what David Elwood calls the helping conundrum is we want to help single mothers who are poor, but if we give them cash, that encourages more people to become single mothers. So what do? In the late 60s, the establishment completely grasped one horn of the dilemma and said, well, let's give everybody cash. Forget about the effect of encouraging more people to go on welfare. So there was a huge bipartisan consensus, not unlike the consensus on immigration now, that said, well, we're for a guaranteed income. It was only stopped when a guy named Ronald Reagan said, no, this is a mega dole, and it lost a very close vote in Congress and went away. Similarly now, there's a dilemma of, we have sympathy for the people who are in the shadows. We'd like to help them, but we worry about that will encourage more people. If we give amnesty, that encourages more people to come in, will undercut our own wage levels. Yet the establishment has decided, well, let's grasp one horn of this dilemma and say we'll give amnesty and not worry about the consequences. And the question is, will it have a salutary outcome like the welfare debate where the bipartisan consensus fell apart at the last minute, or will this time the sort of unfortunate bipartisan consensus win? The difference is that in welfare, there's no sort of big constituency for more welfare payments. It's an ideological sentiment of liberals. But in the immigration debate, there is an ongoing permanent constituency of Latino voters who have been told they have to care about this issue. And so the debate isn't going to go away the way the guaranteed income debate went away. But it's the same. It's almost a perfect exact parallel.